A little bit blurry. Goodness. Can you see? Can you see me? Okay. I think I just freed up enough storage on here. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah, and today I'm going to tell you guys how I got into USC. So if you don't know, to get into USC, you can go through the Common App, and it was a pretty short application process. I'm going to go through all my essays in this video, but yeah, it was relatively easy to apply, I would say. And also, it was like actually interesting to apply. Like, they weren't asking me super boring questions. Like, it was actually like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the questions weren't boring. I'm just gonna read them out, give my tips on my essays, and also just help you guys get a better idea of how to get into the University of Southern California. I do want to talk about the timeline in the process of applying to USC though, because in order to be qualified for merit scholarships, you have to submit your application by the early deadline. And even if you're applying like early restrictive action to like Ivy League or early action to any other school, you can one sec, let me see what that was. I don't know what that was, but you can still apply to USC most of the time. Like, I would definitely look at the school you're applying to early action, look at their requirements. But I wanted to apply to Stanford early action, and I was able to also apply to USC early action just because I needed to apply early in order to qualify for scholarships. So really read like the fine print of different requirements to see if you're eligible for certain stuff. I ended up applying early. I did not get in early though. I got deferred to the next round, and what deferred means is that you didn't get accepted that round, but they're going to re-review your application when they begin accepting more applicants. So that's what happened to me, and then I ended up getting accepted regular decision. I applied for business, and at USC it's the Marshall School of Business, and I got in. Also, that school has way too much money. Like, when I was picking between what school to go to, and you know, when colleges start sending their little packages, their little notebooks and stuff, you really get to see which schools have funding like crazy. And USC, guys, they sent me an AirTag. I probably still have it. Hold on, let me grab it. Here's the AirTag, but I don't have the packaging that came with it. But guys, it was crazy. I remember opening this box, opening it up, and then it was like, you'll find your place here, with just an AirTag, like just casually. In like, I was like, what? But I think that was like specific marketing for Marshall School of Business. So if other people got into USC and for some reason they didn't send you an AirTag, I don't know why they decided to for Marshall, but they did. And I'm gonna still use the AirTag. I'm not going to USC, but I'm gonna use that AirTag. Back to the video. The reason I'm not going to USC, first of all, is because it's just like a lot of money. Like, I didn't get any financial aid, so they wanted me to pay $90K a year, $90K yearly, and I refused to take out student loans to do that when I got into a different school that was going to be so much cheaper and more affordable for like an education that was just as good. So that's how I kind of made that thought process. And I'm also going to make another video on how I picked what school to go to. But yeah. So now we're going to get into the video part, and I'm just going to read my essays, the prompts, and what I wrote. If I'm looking down or just not at the camera, it's obviously because I'm looking at this. And also, if my face is like chubby, I got my wisdom teeth taken out this week. I probably won't even release that video. I can't do it to myself. I really can't. And also, if I'm talking funny, it's also because of that, because my jaw feels like it's constrained. It's very much, it's in pain, guys. Also, when you apply through the Common App, there is an activity section, and you get to send in, I want to say it was 10 activities and 5 awards. 10 activities and 5 awards. That's what you can send in, or awards or honors. If you guys want to go to my UCLA video, I'll put it somewhere up here. My UCLA video, most of those activities, like all of those plus 5 extra, is what I submitted to my Common App. I don't feel like rereading all 10 of those activities, so go to that video after this if you're interested in seeing it. And if I read any activity on that video, it was also in my Common App, with the exception of like 5 activities, because you know they gave you 5 extra when you apply to UC schools, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, comment and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. So the first prompt on this USC application says describe yourself in 3 words. The 3 words I chose were genuine, versatile, and grounded. Those were the 3 words I chose because I felt like they best describe me. Also, don't say like hardworking, don't give basic words, hardworking, kind. No, like find words that, don't try to get all technical and like super smart with it, but just try to find words that uniquely describe you. Like, what would you say? And a good way to kind of think of words like this is to think about yourself and then what you think is different about yourself that you don't see in other people, because that's essentially what the admission officers are looking for. Next, also, these are called short takes, and my short takes could be 100 characters. What's your favorite snack? I said coconut shrimp with sweet chili sauce, my childhood favorite. Best movie of all time, Crazy Rich Asians, a perfect mix of comedy, love, and culture. Dream job, and I said CEO of a thriving company that I founded in which I mentor young women of color. If your life had a theme song, what would it be? And I said Hakuna Matata, reminds me to find joy in every moment and that everything will be okay. Dream trip. I said exploring Japan by indulging in the night markets and walking the streets of Tokyo. I love that answer because that's real. What TV show will you binge watch next? I said Bridgerton, a diversified and female empowered take on England's Regency period. Some of this stuff I'm like exaggerating a little bit. Just a little bit, but Bridgerton was cool. It was cool. Which well-known person or fictional character would be your ideal roommate? I said Zendaya, of course. Zendaya, a versatile and driven individual who can rock sweats one day and a ball gown the next. If some of these sound corny, I said this in another video, but you need to be corny. Corniness shows that you're like lively, that you're a real person. You don't want to be a bot. Don't be a bot. Favorite book? I said Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, a lesson about letting go of what holds me back. If you could teach a class on any topic, what would it be? I said importance of self-care, giving oneself breaks, and learning applicable techniques to avoid burnout. Because we live in such a go-go society, you just gotta know to have a balance. Have a balance, for real. On top of those, like, this application was so short because the only essay I have left to read is a 250-word one, and that's it. And this one was more related to my interests at USC. It's that like why USC type question. For the majority of my life, I have grown up in predominantly white communities. As a Black and Filipino woman, I was determined to become the representation that I lacked. At USC's Marshall School of Business, I would explore the business administration major and gain both the real-world experience and educational support necessary to become a successful businesswoman and mentor other people of color. I am especially intrigued by Professor Misha's Organization Change and Development course, which will provide the blueprint of leadership and proven techniques to better my future workplace. Additionally, USC's Global Fellows internship would provide me with real-world business experience in Asia to fortify these leadership skills. I am also interested in mechanical engineering. Growing up with a sister with disabilities, I have spent a great deal of time with the disabled community. The Viterbi curriculum structure of transferring classroom knowledge to hands-on application would assist me in my goal of designing innovative objects to benefit the disabled community by facilitating the completion of everyday tasks. Additionally, within the Women in Science and Engineering program, WISE Fellows, I will be able to conduct research about the disabled community's needs and develop a relationship with a mentor whose interest aligns with this passion. While my two interests are very different, the culture at USC would allow me a space to explore both of my interests and develop them profoundly so that I will be poised to make a positive and lasting impact after I graduate. That was the last essay I wrote that got me into USC. As you can see, it's only been around a year since I wrote that essay, and like my thought process has already changed so much. I don't want to do engineering no more. And like that little second part of the essay isn't really what I'm about as much anymore, like where my passion lies, you could say. I'm a business girl now. I'm trying to do business. Those are the essays I wrote that got me into the University of Southern California. And that's really all I have to say. Like, this was a pretty straightforward video. If you guys have any other questions about the college app process, any tips you want, look out for future videos. I'm going to be posting a college tips video. I'm also going to be posting academic tips, like how I managed to keep straight A's all of high school. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Be blessed, y'all. Bye.